I'm Jesse Tomchack, and I'm a full-stack JavaScript instructor here at Woz U. Even if you learn other languages or use other technologies, you are going to use JavaScript sooner or later. So I came from another programming background and had to use it on the side. And the more I used it, the more I liked it, the more sort of freedom JavaScript gave me to move back and forth between all of these sort of platforms and not be sort of shoehorned into a specific niche or runtime or device. So JavaScript gives me the freedom to use my programming, and whether I want to program a smart lock, or whether I want to make a web app, or if I want to upgrade my toaster oven and make it run faster. JavaScript is literally everywhere. It's not something that any programmer can get away from. So even if you program in another language like C# or Ruby or Java, you still end up using JavaScript. So I started with just a small taste like most people and really got interested in its dynamics and the availability for it to sort of proliferate and run in all sorts of these different environments. And from someone who likes to tinker or move around and has a short attention span, this worked out really, really well for me. I was able to jump from project to project and get a lot out of it and contribute back an enormous amount. So when people ask me why I learned JavaScript and why I continue to expand in JavaScript, my short answer is because I can use it everywhere. JavaScript is a programming language that is dynamically typed. Its original purpose was in the early 90s to make web pages more interactive, clicking on buttons, making flashy things. And as we progressed over time, users became more and more interested in more and more interactions with our web applications. So if you remember years ago, you used to be able to fill out a form and click a button, and now you can run entire applications in the web browser. And that is all powered by JavaScript. And that would be great if that was the only thing that JavaScript could do, but it can do an enormous amount more. JavaScript doesn't just run in your web browser, it runs on your servers and in your data centers. It is a programming language that powers both the front and the back of your experience, whether that's on a mobile device, whether that's in Chrome, whether you're doing data science or in a lab somewhere running numbers. These are all things that JavaScript is good for. Compared to other languages, things like maybe C#, which are a compiled language, those are things that run primarily on the back on a server somewhere in a data center. JavaScript is something that runs in all the places, from your phone to the heads-up display in your car, probably has some JavaScript in it. So when we talk about career options and why you would want to learn JavaScript and expand your knowledge of JavaScript, really, the main reason is because you can take that knowledge and apply it into any one of these areas. Whether you want to make web applications, that's great. Whether you want to make mobile applications, even better. Whether you want to work on LOT devices or smart locks or smart light bulbs, or you want to work on a Alexa type cylinder where you can talk to it. These are all powered by JavaScript. You can pair this up with JavaScript on the back end to create persistence and databases. From top to bottom, you can use JavaScript. It's one of the very few languages that really span the gamut when it comes to programming. Anyone can be successful in programming as a student, and it only requires a few simple traits. You don't need to be very good in math or algebra. It helps, but it is not a requirement. Programming is really fundamentally about problem solving. It's about taking what you have from point A and trying to get to, say, point D or E in a logical order. The idea is you start with something and you need to modify it or collect it and change it in some way, and then change it again. And eventually, like a puzzle, if you change it enough times, you end up at your goal. There is not always a direct path in programming, a simple A to B. There's usually several obstacles and several things in your way that you have to sort of work around. I firmly believe that anyone can be a good programmer and contribute to any project that they want to if they enjoy this idea of problem solving and sort of working through this. Now, code is something that, unlike writing a paper or a book or a novel or an essay, there really is no completion or finish to code. The idea being that as soon as you get something working and running, there's something else to add to it, or something to fix or upgrade or tinker with. It's like a project or a journey that never quite finishes. You're always sort of working on it. And that's what I've really enjoyed about programming, keeps me coming back day to day, is there's always a new problem in front of you. And if that sounds really good to you, then great, programming is going to be something for you. If you think, wow, that sounds exhaustive and tedious, and I am not really comfortable with the uncompleted nature of code, then programming might not be something for you. Maybe there's other parts of IT, cybersecurity or data science, that would be more applicable. But if you enjoy problem solving and puzzles and are okay with the idea of never being completed, then you have what it takes to be a successful programmer. Here at Woz U, we offer a wide variety of curriculum to best suit anything that you want to do in technology. We have data science for learning and manipulating analytics. We have cybersecurity if you're interested in network protocols and security and firewalls, things of that nature. And then we also have software development, which includes a whole range of programming languages. C# and the .NET stack. We have Ruby, we have Java, we have JavaScript. And inside of each one of those stacks, we teach the entire stack. And what that means is from front to back. So you learn web browsing, HTML, CSS, React, Angular. Then we work on data persistence with SQL and a database. And a lot of these terms you may not understand, but they are all the things that sort of come together to create an application, from the very front of your phone to or your web application where you interact with it, to the very back to the server center where all the data is sort of stored and fetched back so that it can be served up. The software program that we have here at Woz U sort of encapsulates all of that, building a project at the end from top to bottom. So whether it's in Ruby or C# or Java, in JavaScript, or whatever the next programming language might be, we have the ability in the curriculum to sort of teach that and make you successful in that. Here at Woz U, we have several things that make our program unique. We have Coder for Life, which means regardless of what software track you start with, whether that's C#, Ruby, .NET, JavaScript, you are able to, once finished with that track, come back through and continue on learning. Coding is not just a one and done where you learn it once and then you're good for the rest of your career. It is a constantly moving field with a very, very fast pace. So the idea of coming back, and whether it's online or on the ground, and picking up new skills, new things are constantly coming out, and our curriculum is constantly evolving to the newest and best techniques that we have found to make programming a little easier for developers and a little better for customers and clients. Beyond that, you can come and do full-time or part-time as well. So whether you want to do it in a very intense sort of 12-week program, or you want to do it in a online program of 24 or 33 weeks while you go to school also, those are available to you as well. Beyond the intense instruction in the class and the availability of our mentors, Woz U prepares students for a career in software development through a group or individual project where you take an idea you've had, something that you've always wanted to make or build, and you actually do it. With the guidance of instructions, with mentors, we will show you how to start it from beginning to end, from the client side to the back end where you make the data, the logins, all of that stuff that you think, how do I do that now? We're going to help you with that. And beyond just the software, beyond the project and the skills, to get into the software industry, we also need to work on our interview skills. We need to shine up our resume, and we have an entire career staff dedicated to just that facet of it, where they will go over your resume with you. They will help you with interview skills and questions. They are looking through online posts for software development jobs for junior developers and trying to get recruiters and get industries in here to take a look at you, see the work you've done, see your group project, see your individual project, and get you a job out in the software industry if that's what you want.